So what's up guys, how you all doing? I have a battle for you guys today against Wilechase. This was for ELO's theme team tourney and I had a fun time battling him. It was an honor to battle him because I don't get to battle a guy like Chase too often or if ever at all. So that was great. And to the subscribers of Xerxes who are watching this, you might be thinking, what am I doing on his channel? Well, he sent me a PM a couple of days ago asking me to post on his channel. He offered me that and I was like, hell yeah. You know, this is such a big deal and I really didn't want to give it up. So, you know, hope you guys enjoy this and yeah. So anyway, I'm gonna lead off with a Machamp. Weil is gonna lead off with a Rotom H. Machamp's nickname is BJ Penn because he's an MMA fighter, and Machamp is also, well, he looks like an MMA fighter. So he goes for a Volt Switch. In my mind, I'm already thinking that he's choiced in some way. I still have to scout out his Rotom just to get that 100% guarantee that he's this scarf, this choice or this other choiced item. But he goes into his Milotic to sponge that Stone Edge because Milotic is such a great tank. I do stay on the Scald because I know I can take a couple of those or maybe even 3 after leftovers. I do hit him with a Dynamic Punch to get off damage and to confuse it. So now I go into my Latias because I can get that chance of him hitting himself so I can switch in freely, or he can just Scald and that won't do much. Either way, it's still a win-win situation. I do switch out during the Ice Beam. I do go into my Heatran, which 4 times resists that, but he goes for a Toxic, which is still okay with me. I'm immune to that stuff. And I can set up my rocks right here because I saw that he had a Dragonite on his team, and Dragonite pretty much, if it got a couple of Dragon Dances up, it would sweep my entire team. So that was my first priority. And yeah, he recovers all that health because he knows Heatran really can't do anything to him. Right here I go for the Hidden Power, not so very effective because I thought it was Hidden Power Grass at the time, but guess what, it's Hidden Power Ice. I carried Hidden Power Ice on 2 pokes. I have to change that. I go into Shaymin right here to take the Scald. He does Snap Out of Confusion, which really doesn't, I really don't care. Shaymin takes that Scald very, very well, and if it did get a burn, I would have just switched out anyway. So he switches out and goes into his Rotom, gets hurt by rocks, and gets hit by a Seed Flare. Even though it is resisted, it does take a lot of damage from a Life Orb boosted Seed Flare. I do run not max speed, timid, so that really did a lot. I go into my Machamp here because I have really no use for it right now, and just leave it in as death fodder. He does trick me the Scarf though, and that's great because now it won't be outspeeding a lot of my guys, and I can just play around him having the leftovers, which is pretty easy. He's at -2, which is great. He won't be hitting me too hard anymore, and he doesn't have any boosted anything that can boost his attacks. So I go into my Latias to kill it off with a Surf. My Latias is Specs, so that means, I'm locked into a move, and I really did not think that a Spec Surf would have OHKO'd this Jirachi, so I switched out, went into my Jellicent. He does go for the Body Slam. I was predicting a Thunder Wave there as well, but that's great because it's immune to Body Slam. So right here, I'm just going to go for Will-O-Wisp just to get some residual damage on that Jirachi. He does go into a Shaymin that gets hit by the Will-O-Wisp, and I'm going to go into my Escavalier because the Seed Flare, it really can't do much. I resist it by 4, and if he did have Hidden Power Fire, then I'm stupid. He does Leech Seed, which kind of tells me he's one of those sub-seeding sets, or those very, very defensive Shaymins with Leech Seed. I switch out anyway, go into my Heatran, predicting that Hidden Power Fire, so I can get that Flash Fire boost. But he sets up a sub, great play for him. He is taking burn damage though, but he does have the Leech Seed, which kind of, you know, makes up for that HP loss. I do go for Fire Blast because that is stab and it'll break the sub, of course. So I think I stay in just to fire off more hidden Fire Blast. I'm at a good range of health where I can just stay in, take a couple of hits, and then switch out later on. But he switches out, not wanting to take a Fire Blast. He's not behind a sub that could easily kill him off. He does go into his Terrakion to take the resisted hit. If he did have Earth Power, he would have been able to kill me off, possibly, because it is 4 times effective. But right here, I thought that the switch into Jellicent to block his close combat was very obvious, so I stayed in, went for the Earth Power, and it really paid off because he overpredicts and went for the Stone Edge, but that still does a lot. But even though, I'm able to kill off his Terrakion, and that's just a big threat out of here. So right now he goes into his Milotic, and this is really not an interesting part. Heatran is pretty much has no use for me, and I'm just gonna stay in, let it die, or even just get off some hits. I know he does have Recover, so this is pretty much a losing fight, but I really just don't want to switch out, take a Scald or anything from anything else. So I stay in, or I think I switch out next turn because I was predicting him to go for another Recover, which he does, and I fire off a Seed Flare because it has that chance to lower your special defense, and it does right here on his switch into Jirachi. So I have the Earth Power, and I can go for the Earth Power, but I know he's gonna predict that because he scouted my Shaymin for a pretty long time now. So he goes into his Dragonite, predicting me to go for the Earth Power, but I predict that and go for the Hidden Power Ice. And since rocks are up, you know, that's gonna be a dead Dragonite. So he knows that he can't win the battle, so he's gonna forfeit, and that's gonna be the game. Hope you guys enjoyed. I really had a fun game with Weil. Very intense as well. But yeah, anyone coming from Xerxes' channel, you don't have to come subscribe to me. It's not obligated, but you're free to do that. Leave comments, leave likes, leave dislikes. I'm open to criticism, but I'll see you guys next time. Aloha.